Hi, this is Helena Hart, and in this video I'm going to be sharing 4 things that you should never do when a man is acting distant or pulling away. This is a really common situation. I know I hear from women every week who don't know what to do because their man has shut down on them or is acting distant or withdrawn or is even pulled away from them. I've certainly been there myself, and I can tell you from experience that when you're in that situation, often what you feel the most compelled to do to try to get the connection back is often the exact opposite of what you should do in order to inspire a man to come back towards you and get closer to you. So hopefully this will be really helpful for you if you are at that place yourself. So the first thing I always say when a woman, like if one of my clients is at this place where a man's acting distant or pulling away, is don't panic. So that's the first thing you should never do. Don't panic. You know, a lot of times men pull away or take some space for themselves for reasons that have nothing to do with us or the relationship. He could be stressed out. He could be dealing with a lot in other areas of his life. It could be anything, but we can often take it personally when a man pulls away, and then we think that if we somehow caused it, then we can fix it. And that's when we lean forward and do all of these things that actually push a man further and further away or keep him at a distance. So that's the first thing. Don't panic. And I'm going to give you some things that you can do at the end of this video, so be sure to stay tuned for that. The second thing you should never do when a man pulls away or acts distant is beat yourself up or blame yourself. And it can be hard not to do this. I know as women, when things aren't going well in our relationship, the first person we typically want to blame or beat up on is ourselves, and it's just not helpful to do that. It just creates a downward spiral. So that's the second thing. You really want to stay away from beating yourself up or blaming yourself for what's going on with your man right now. The third thing you should never do is lean forward and try to explain yourself to him. I see this a lot in women where maybe there was a fight or an argument and a man pulls away or acts distant after that. We all feel the need to explain ourselves or defend where we stand, especially when we're at that place, and it's really not helpful to do that. If a man's taking some space for himself, the best thing you can do is really anchor yourself right where you are. Take all of that energy and attention you have on him, pull it off of him, and put that focus on yourself and your own life. That's what inspires him to come back towards you. It creates the space for him to want to get closer to you once he's done processing what he needs to process. Then at that point, once his energy is coming back towards you, if you need to have a conversation about what happened or apologize, that's the time to do it. But it's not the time to do it when he is pulling away from you or acting distant. And the last thing you should never do when a man pulls away or acts withdrawn or shuts down is confront him. When a man is at that place, he does not want to be confronted, especially by the woman he's with. It really comes across as needy and clingy. So if a man is acting distant or pulling away and you just feel compelled to call him up and ask him a bunch of questions about why he had to pull away, or initiate conversations about the relationship, that will definitely cause him to want to keep himself at a distance and not come back towards you. And it can be difficult to stay away from doing some of these things. So something I always recommend to my clients is give yourself a timeline. Give yourself a timeline, something like, for the next 3 days, I'm not going to worry about this. I'm not going to lean forward and explain myself or confront him or do all of those things that come across as needy and clingy. I'm going to just focus on myself, let him take some space, and then really trust that if he's the right man for me and he wants to be in this relationship and work things out, he will absolutely come back towards me all on his own without any pressure or prompting on my end. It's so important. So give yourself a timeline, whatever feels good to you. Could be a week, could be a few days, to just not worry about the situation. Let a man take some space for himself, because sometimes men really need to do that to process their emotions or deal with the stress that they're going through in other areas of their life. There could be many reasons why a man pulls away. Some men need to pull away from us just to recharge, especially if they're introverted. They need time to themselves to process their emotions, especially when their feelings are deepening for us. So the last thing you want to do is all of these things that keep him at arm's length when he's just processing his emotions. So that's what I have for today on the 4 things you should never do when a man is acting distant or pulling away. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I hope this was helpful, and if you'd like some more tips on how to attract the man you want and create an extraordinary relationship, check out my 3 keys to attract the man you want report and audio training. It's free on my website, helenahartcoaching.com. I'll include a link to that in the description of this video. So I hope this was helpful for you, and I will see you next time.